We are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The return. Yes, there was no Thursday episode last week. I was traveling. I was in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, with some family. Had a wedding in New Jersey. It was beautiful. It was a great time. And then I got sick. That sickness took me up until Monday night into Tuesday. So there was no Monday episode. The illness, it got me. Tried to pull off a flu game. Couldn't do it. I'm not MJ like that. But I am the host of the Swank Tank. Welcome in to the show. We are back and we have a full Week 12 to dive into. Our fullest and biggest episode yet of the entire season. Welcome into episode 23 of the Swank Tank. I'm your host, Ryan Swankowski. Thank you very much for being here. Sorry about last week. We had that Monday episode, which was the quick review of Week 10. I was still giving you content and picks throughout the week for Week 11. Was going to be back Monday. And then again, the illness, it caught me. It was bad. Headaches, stomach aches, fevers. It was rough. But we're good now. We're 100% now. And that's what matters. What do we got lined up on this episode? I already got into it because I'm so worked up and so pumped up for this Week 12 slate. Full Week 12 preview, picks, and prediction. Along with that, we're adding in DFS Locks. If you know me, I love to play DFS. On FanDuel specifically, I'm adding in a segment. We're going to do a noon slate, 3 locks for you on DFS for the noon slate. Then the 3 o'clock slate, 3 locks for you on that slate as well. Along with that, our Swanks Banks, as you know, our 6 favorite bets of every week. We will get into that at the very end of the show, but we got a lot to talk about. And it's just great to be back. You know, I only missed a week, but it's so great to be back because I don't like to miss any episodes whatsoever. I was dying on Monday night to have a show, but the body was telling me no. It was saying, pump the brakes there. We're back. We are back. By the way, that intro I prefaced about a week or two ago, I'm saving that come playoff time. You will see that on all the socials right before playoffs start. Help the show out, get some promotional ads going out there for playoff content, for some playoff episodes that are going to be fantastic, in-depth, in detail. The playoffs I'm very much looking forward to. That's going to be great. That's several weeks away. Swank, what are you even talking about? We got a Week 12 to talk about. You're right. Time to lock in. We got the DFS locks. We got some new things coming, new things in the works. Most importantly, though, we're back from a week-long hiatus there with an illness and some traveling. Yes, I had cheesesteaks, several of them in Philly. I had cleavers. I had some from the market near Chinatown. Several phenomenal cheesesteaks. I mean, they just got great sandwiches up there. Had a pastrami sandwich. Wonderful. If you have not been to Philly, you are missing out. It was cold, which I love. Love me some cold weather. But what do I love more than cold weather? I love this show. And I love you for all being here. So thank you again for being here. We are almost at 500 followers on Instagram. I believe we're 10 away. If you are not already, please make sure and go and follow the Swank Tank on all socials. That includes Instagram, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We've been gaining some subscribers recently. Appreciate you all who are subscribing. Subscribe on the YouTube, follow on the Instagram, follow on the TikTok at the Swank Tank. On Twitter as well, R. Swankowski, but Twitter is just more of a fun content page. Instagram and Twitter, YouTube. Those are the 3 main ones. And on Spotify, if you're not following already, please go and do so. Especially trying to ramp things up before the playoffs get going here in about a month and a half. Welcome into the show. Without further adu, let's dive straight into the first game of Week 12. By the way, even though I missed last week, I still had picks. I still posted a little graphic with all my picks. We went 12-3 in Week 11. Of course, the one Thursday I don't have an episode this season is when I go 12-3 on just straight up winners. That moves us to 105-60 on the season. We are 105-60 on the season in picking straight up winners. We're keeping that momentum going this week. I'm loving what I've got this week. I've got a great feel for it. DFS-wise, fantasy-wise, betting-wise. Have a great feel for everything this week. I'm very, very excited to see how this Week 12 winds up and to see what goes on. And it starts in Houston. Thursday night football. The 7-3 Bills traveling to take on the 5-5 Houston Texans. Bills are -6 here on the road in Houston. The Texans have to start with this. No CJ Stroud. Big blow, obviously. Their franchise quarterback, their best player outside of Nico Collins. Without Stroud, there's been some murmurs. The Davis Mills stands. If you guys don't know, I'll just say I'm a big Texans fan. I'll try to keep biases aside, but I'm a big Texans fan. And Davis Mills has come in and done a serviceable job. He's 2-0. Led a phenomenal comeback against the Jags 2 weeks ago. Got the win against Tennessee, even though it wasn't pretty last weekend. They're 5-5, sitting at 500. Huge game for Houston. It will have to be done without Stroud. For the Bills, no Dalton Kincaid. Big blow and big loss for them. Josh Allen's, in my mind, favorite receiver, no Dalton Kincaid. Let's talk defenses here. Both these defenses are tied second in pass touchdowns allowed. They do not allow you to throw the ball on them, at least not in the end zone, very well, if whatsoever. Texans, best defense in the league in terms of points per game. That has been known. Scary defensive front for the Texans, led by Danielle Hunter and by Will Anderson. The secondary is good with Lassiter and Stingley. The Bills, when they got Hairston, their first-round pick from Kentucky, that secondary got even better. Where they struggle is on the ground. Bills have given up the 4th most rushing yards in the NFL and the most rushing touchdowns this year with 17. I will rephrase. The Bills are giving up the 4th most rushing yards in the NFL and have given up the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL going into Thursday Night Football. Gotta note that. Texans, here's their big stat to go off of, are bottom 10 in rush yards per game. So who's going to win, right? What side's going to win? Can the Texans, Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, without Joe Mixon, made a video about that. The most mysterious injury of all time, apparently. Can the Texans, Woody Marks, Nick Chubb, run the ball effectively? Or can the Bills' defensive front step up, led by Bosa? I believe Ed Oliver is still out, if I'm not mistaken, led by Bosa and Rousseau and all those guys. Can they step up in this spot? Whoever steps up bigger in that matchup is going to win this football game. So, can the Texans run the ball? Can the Bills stop that run and not turn the ball over? In their losses, it has been much more evident when they're turning the ball over, they lose the game. That goes for a lot of teams, right? But specifically with the Bills, in their losses, what has hurt them? Turnovers. Other teams, it's different. Other teams, it's, their secondary is really weak. So anytime they give up, a lot of yards through the air, they lose. This is usually, with the Bills this year, a turnover situation. If they're keeping it clean, they're winning games for the most part. Can they do that here? Texans defense creates a solid amount of turnovers and can get home to the quarterback. Here's my winner. I'm taking Houston. I had the Bills originally. I'm taking Houston. I think the Texans hang around here in prime time. Everybody's on the Bills. How do I know that? Well, I've seen picks on social media. Also, the line has already moved. It was Bills, I believe, -5.5. It's now moved to 6. That means a lot of people are betting on Buffalo. I don't even have to look at the betting lines to know everybody's high on Buffalo in this spot. I don't necessarily blame them. Buffalo is the better team offensively. Defensively, they're definitely not. This is going to be a gritty game. It's going to be a gritty game. And I'm taking the Texans for the main reason that after this, they play the Colts and the Chiefs. They have to win this game. They have to. Other people may not see it that way. I do. If the Texans want to make the playoffs, the Ravens are going to beat the Jets this week. That's a fact. The Jags are going to beat the Cardinals this week. That's a fact. The Texans and the Chiefs, we'll see. We'll talk about that game later. Texans got to win this game. And I think they're going to shock the world, and I think they're going to do it on Thursday Night Football. Somehow, some way, they're going to find a way. Give me Houston in a must-win spot to get it done on Thursday Night Football, and it's probably going to have to be in that running game with Woody Marks. If they're going to win, I think that's what they're going to have to succeed in and have to show. is that run game being elevated. We'll see. Houston, my opinion, gets it done on Thursday night. We keep things rolling. The 6-4 Steelers traveling to take on the 7-3 Bears. The big question off the bat. We are recording this Thursday morning. It is indeed November 20th, Thursday morning. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday. If you're listening on Thursday, if it's Friday or Saturday or even Sunday, hope you're having a great day. But I'm recording this on Thursday morning, November 20th. Aaron Rodgers is a maybe to play. It's a maybe. Has that, I believe, broken bone in his left wrist. So non-passing arm, non-passing hand, it's a maybe. He's, quote, pushing to play. I don't know. Rodgers, and it's a big deal, obviously. Rodgers is 24-5. Rodgers is 24-5 against the Bears all time. I mean, he owns them. He is their dad. The Bears is Aaron Rodgers' son. He owns them. But will he play? That is the big question. For the Bears, they're the comeback kids this year. Everybody knows this, and they did it again last week, back against the wall. Needed the field goal for the win. Duvernay, big kickoff return. I mean, Williams is playing very effective and clean football from Caleb Williams. Is what you love to see as a Bears fan. And they just keep coming back. They're the comeback kids. Bears 3-1 at home this year, and they're red hot. We all know it. Steelers defensively got back on track last week in a 34-12 win over Cincinnati. Defense played great, had a turnover and a touchdown in that game. Let's be for real here. It's Cincinnati. Granted, their offense has been good. Defensively, it's just a nightmare. Nightmare defensive season for Cincinnati. But we're not here to talk about Cincinnati. Not yet. That's next. Bears, bottom 8 in rushing yards. Steelers defense, third most passing yards given up. Those are two big defensive stats. I'll re-say it for you. The Bears are bottom 8 in rushing yards. And the Steelers are giving up the third most passing yards. Those are your big stats for this game. But Bears lead the league with 15 interceptions. 15 of them. And have been very solid against tight ends this season across the board. I'm taking Chicago here because I think Caleb and Ben Johnson together can kind of expose that Steelers secondary that has overall all season really struggled, again, giving up the third most passing yards. I understand last week they were better. And I understand Rodgers owns the Bears. But we may not see Rodgers. If we do, he's not going to be fully healthy. And given that, the Bears are the better team. They are the better team. And this has been a season for the Bears where it seems like every game they get put in a situation where the old Bears or the Bears from 3 years ago, the Bears from 7 years ago would then lose that game in that situation. The Bears are different this year. The Bears have a different culture. They have a different leader in Caleb Williams. This is a different Bears. It's a different Bears. So when they've been put in situations, they go down late. The Bears aren't going to win this game. They do, right? The Bears are going to choke this game. They haven't. The Bears are playing Aaron Rodgers. They're going to lose. Not to me. This is a different team with a different leader and a different culture. Even if Aaron Rodgers plays in this game, I'm taking Chicago to get it done. They've been solid against tight ends this year. They're at home. They're red hot. And the Bears, to me, all around are the better football team. I'm taking Chicago to get the win in their own building. Give me the Bears to get it done. I'm just hesitant about Rodgers, that injury in that secondary for the Steelers. Let's keep it going. The 9-2 New England Patriots, 9-2. Wow. Traveling to take on the 3-7 Bengals. Off the rip here, I'm just going to tell you New England. New England. In case you missed it, one more time. New England. No question here. No question here. It's that part of the year where teams are starting to be dead in the water. Just completely dead. And the Bengals, to me, are one of them. This is week 12. You know some teams are dead. Right now, the Bengals are one of them. I understand Joe Burrow may be playing in this game. I don't really see a reason why. One, don't rush your franchise quarterback back. 2, your season's over. 3, the Patriots' defense is top 5. It does not check out. I don't think they're going to start Burrow here. They're going to give him one more week. If they were to even give him another week and then play him, I don't know why you'd play him. I digress. That's none of my business at the moment. New England, huge. Bengals are dead. They're dead. And they have no Jamar Chase. He spat on Jalen Ramsey. What's up with players and spitting this year? Is that a new thing? I didn't get the memo that was just going to be a relatively common occurrence now this season. No Jamar Chase here. Due to his own actions, due to his own idiocy. That's not a right word. Just being dumb. Being dumb and not being able to handle his emotions. Also, he's missing out on like $500K this game. Yet his salary is just absurd, especially when you put it in a game-by-game basis. Ridiculous. No Jamar Chase here. Patriots, by the way, best run defense in the NFL. At least it's one of them. Oh, and they're facing the worst running offense in the NFL. Whoever's at quarterback for the Bengals might want to say a little prayer for them before this game. They're going to have to throw the ball 50, maybe 60, maybe 70 times because there will be no running the football whatsoever for the Cincinnati Bengals. Flacco or Burrow literally might throw the ball 50 times. It probably will happen here. Bengals defense has given up the most passing touchdowns this year and the second most rushing yards this season. I mean, it's awful, ladies and gentlemen. The Bengals defense is laughable. That's how bad they are. I mean, they are atrocious. Just terrible. It's awful. Pats -8 is a lock. Drake May for the win is a lock in DFS. I'm so high on New England. There was no trap here. There was no noise here. It is New England all day long. The matchup's too perfect. It's Patriots. Big time. Give me New England. Go into Cincinnati and crush them. Next up, we got the 2-9 Giants traveling to take on the 6-4 Lions. Oh, sweet Lord. Sweet Lord. This is not going to be pretty. The Lions, after their 3 losses prior to Sunday, have put up 52, 24, and 44 points. I'm going to restate that for you. After their 3 losses, so obviously the Lions last week just got their 4th loss, so they haven't played a game after that loss yet, obviously. After their 3 losses in that next game, the Lions have put up 52, 24, and 44 points. Dan Campbell, the comeback kid, or let's just say the revenge kid, very much bounces back, gets his team to bounce back in a major way after a loss, and I expect that here. Giants are giving up the most rushing yards and yards per carry this season, 5.5 yards per carry. I could go out there against the Giants and get at least a yard, maybe 2. If I'm behind a good O-line, I think I'm at least getting 2 yards. Big debate. That's like a common debate, I feel like, amongst friends. Just, guys shooting it, doing whatever, hanging out. They always bring up, how many yards could you get in an NFL game? Could you rush for a yard? My usual opinion is no. That you could put me behind any O-line, and I would not. Against that Giants defensive front, when it comes to the run game, I think I could get at least a yard, if not more. Giants giving up the most rush yards and yards per carry this season with 5.5. They're also giving up the 6th most passing yards in the NFL. We just touched on the Bengals defense being atrocious. The Giants defense is right behind them. 6th most passing yards in the NFL, giving up the most rushing yards and the most yards per carry in the entire NFL. I don't care if it's Dart. I don't care if it's Winston. I don't care if it's DeVito. I don't care if it's freaking Eli Manning at the helm for the New York Giants. This is a blowout spot. Blowout. Detroit -10, lock. I'm just going to tell you it's in my Swank Banks. It is a lock. Gibbs, DFS lock for me as well. Lions here, huge. I'm huge on the Lions this week. I'm huge on New England this week. Some people may say that's not a take, Swank. They're big-time favorites. I'm doubling, tripling down on them being big-time favorites. I'm huge on them in fantasy, betting, DFS. I'm all in. On the Lions in Week 12, I'm all in on New England in Week 12. Give me all I can eat from them. Such a great bounce back spot for Detroit against a beaten up, deteriorated Giants team that has no defensive appearance whatsoever outside of being able to get to the quarterback every now and then. I mean, Lions in their own building, they could put up 50 in this spot. And it's going to start with Gibbs. Trust me. Lions, -10, lock. Lions get the win. We move forward. The Vikings, the 4-6 Vikings, traveling to take on the 6-3-1 Green Bay Packers. God, I hate that one at the end. I just hate it. God, it annoys me. Anyways, Green Bay -6 here. Super, super interesting game here. Jacobs is day-to-day, which is huge to keep an eye on. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this game. Jacobs is, I think, going to play. If he does play, maybe a little bit limited capacity. You know, you got Wilson behind him, who's going to be getting a good amount of carries in volume in this game as well. Jacobs, this offense hums when Jacobs succeeds. They need him in this game. Let's see if he gives it a go. Let's see if he plays. Both these passing defenses in this game are identical, essentially, and they're both solid. It's the run defenses that are a little different. Packers run defense has a little edge here over the Vikings run defense. Relatively, though, in the same ballpark defensively. Packers only have 4 interceptions on the entire season, which makes things very interesting to me. How an angle I wanted to come at with this game was, okay, Green Bay maybe causes a lot of turnovers, causes a lot of interceptions. McCarthy, as we know this year, has been an interception machine, hasn't been able to really pick up that second, third read when under pressure. Okay, Green Bay's going to have, two interceptions in this game. That's how they're going to win it. The thing is, Green Bay doesn't really cause a lot of interceptions. I mean, they have 4 on the season, which I believe is bottom 5 in the NFL. They don't get a lot of interceptions. It's just not what they do. And so here's the deal. This would be such a, quote, 9 spot. That's what they call J.J. McCarthy, 9 spot to randomly go off after his rough few weeks. And I have no idea who this Green Bay team is at all. Last week, I expected them to go into New York and blow them out of the water. They won, but they very much did not blow them out of the water. I have no idea who this Green Bay Packers team is right now, especially if Jacobs is out or just limited. What's their identity? I don't have faith fully in Jordan Love right now. I do not have faith in the Green Bay Packers right now whatsoever. But then on the flip side, I'm not trusting J.J. McCarthy. I bet on J.J. McCarthy back-to-back weeks. Am I going to do it again this week? Theoretically, yes. But am I picking them to win? No, I'm not. I'm going to pick Green Bay here. And it's just because they in their own building, I've got to take them. And I can't trust, as they say, 9. I can't trust them. I just can't. Who can I trust more between Love and McCarthy? You go Love. Then you go with the team at home. I'm going to take Green Bay. I think Green Bay is a better team overall. They lack an identity right now. And Minnesota, I like Minnesota to compete in this game, and I like them to keep it close in this game. But I can't trust them, and they need to run the ball more. Minnesota needs to run the ball more. Minnesota has the 3rd fewest rush attempts in the NFL. I think this game is competitive. I think it's close. I think Minnesota in this game with Aaron Jones in a relatively revenge spot. I mean, it's been a little while now, but in a relatively revenge spot going back to Lambeau Field. Maybe getting some good volume. So give me Minnesota to get a little ground game going. Keep it close. Keep it, almost neck and neck, honestly. But for Green Bay to pull out the win. So I'm going to take Minnesota to cover. They are +6. I like them to cover. Give me Green Bay to win the football game. That is my winner, and we keep it going. This next one's going to be quick, by the way. The 7-3 Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the 1-9 Tennessee Titans. Seattle -13.5 here. That is not a typo. You heard me correctly. Seattle -13.5 4.5 here on the road. Okay? Seattle defense, welcome to the show. It is time for them to feast. This is an obvious bounce back spot for Seattle. Seattle will win this football game. But here's the deal. I don't think it's going to be through the arm of Sam Darnold. I don't necessarily think it's going to be by the offense whatsoever. I think Seattle defensively here could just go ballistic. Some pent-up anger after the loss in a phenomenal spot. Titans have the least rushing yards offensively in the NFL, and their bottom 3 in passing yards with Cam Ward. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better spot for the Seattle defense to, quote, rebound from after their loss. I mean, it's perfect. They're licking their lips looking at this matchup, and I am too. As I'm saying it, I mean, it's a DFS lock. We're getting into those later in the show, but we touch on them throughout the game previews. It's just a perfect matchup, and I think, Darnold will do whatever. He may struggle, may throw a pick. I expect him to not. He will throw the ball 15 times, maybe. I don't really expect it to be more than that here. Walker should see some good volume. I like Kenneth Walker in fantasy and DFS this week. Should get some good volume here. I think Seattle just slowly punishes Cam Ward and the Titans as a whole. Slight pause there. But I do think that's the case. I really do. Seattle's defense is just in such a prime spot here. No other notes. Give me Seattle and a hard-hitting win to bounce back and to move to 8-3. Easy. We shift over into the most important game, in my eyes, of the entire Week 12 slate. The 8-2 Colts traveling to take on the 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs, who are currently on the outside looking in on the AFC playoff picture. To me, most important game of the week. Kansas City here, minus 3.5 in their own building. Let's get straight into the details. Chiefs, defensively, top 10 in rush yards allowed and is middle in the pack in yards per carry allowed. Why do I bring that up at the top of this game preview? You know why. Because Jonathan Taylor is having one of the best seasons for a running back ever in the history of the NFL. He is having one of the best seasons ever in the NFL. So it is very important when looking at the Chiefs' defensive in stopping the run this year, defensively, right? Look at their defensive stats as a whole, but specifically in stopping the run. They've been good at that this year. Top 10 in rush yards allowed. Very good. Middle of the pack in yards per carry. Okay. As long as they're not bottom 12 in either of those stats, I'm not too concerned about it. Am I a little concerned? Of course, I'm concerned about any defense when facing Jonathan Taylor. But I'm not too concerned with the Colts here in the running department on defense, given that throughout the season they've been pretty solid. That's not to say Jonathan Taylor won't get his own. He will. But maybe he'll be slowed a little bit. Just a little bit. Colts are coming off a bye week. They've had a week to rest, get healthy, and game plan for this Chiefs team. And they got Sauce Gardner now to help out with that somewhat weak secondary. Big move made for them that I think down the stretch will pay dividends. Yes, they gave up a lot for him. But if you go to the bowl this year and you win it, any trade, no matter what it was and what it was worth it. We're not there yet. Right, we're not there. But I do think Sauce is obviously he's a huge addition to that Colts secondary, but I think in this spot, it's going to be very important. A pissed off Mahomes is somebody you never want to play. A pissed off Mahomes in his own building is somebody you never want to play. A pissed off Mahomes in his own building, right now currently not in the playoffs, who's going to lose his division for the first time in his career, is somebody you don't want to play. I'll leave it at that. Chiefs have forced 10 turnovers this year, which is really not great whatsoever. I believe they're bottom 5 in that category. And I thought that's maybe how they get their edge here. Colts in their 2 losses, Daniel Jones has turned the ball over frequently. Problem is, Chiefs don't cause a lot of turnovers. Not this season. Kind of not a difference there in years past. Usually they're turning the ball over a decent amount, creating those on defense. And this year defensively, they're just not. They're not getting to the quarterback super often. Jones has slowed down a little bit. They're not getting a lot of pressure. They're just not forcing turnovers. That's so, very often this season. Comparative to the past 3, 4, 5 years, they have been. This year, not so much. Final stance. Colts are the better team this season and really all around comparative to the 2025 Chiefs. But the Chiefs can't lose this game. And I feel some Mahomes magic incoming. Gut feeling game, give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. I'm not going to be able to point at a stat in this game, give you a main edge. My edge is that Patrick Mahomes will pull off some type of magic here. They're in their building. They can't lose. They can't. Give me Mahomes to get it done. Chiefs to move to 6-5. Next game, we're going to keep this one pretty quick. The 2-8 Jets traveling to take on the 5-5 Ravens in the last game of the noon slate. Ravens minus 13.5 here. I mean, that's a big number, but it's probably one they'll probably cover on. Not locking that in whatsoever, but 13.5. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Ravens have made it back to 500 after escaping Shedeur Sanders. They escaped. They got out of Cleveland with a W. Mark Andrews ran for a touchdown. Game had some weird voodoo magic in it. But a win nonetheless for the Baltimore Ravens, who are now 5-5 and back at 500. And to some people, to a lot of people, in the driver's seat, controlling their own destiny. Oh, Swank is the NFL. Every team controls their own destiny. Yeah, I get that. Given their injuries, given where they've been, given where they are now, given how easy their schedule is down the stretch, this team very much controls their own destiny. They do. Jets starting Tyrod Taylor here, and poor guy. I mean, he's just getting thrown into the fire. This Jets team has no weapons whatsoever outside of Breece Hall, who doesn't even want to be a Jet. I mean, just ugly. And for the most part, I've been picking favorites, especially in this noon slate. But, I mean, let's be real, guys. It's going to be the Ravens. Ravens are winning this football game. Jets, I mean, they sold the whole team. They had the sale. I thought it was actually a very strong sale for them, if I could even use that adjective. They're not winning games. They need to change up not only the culture, but the entire organization. Maybe outside of Aaron Glenn. Maybe. That's a topic for a later date. But what they got for Sauce, what they got for Quinnen, I actually really liked the moves they made, loading up on a ton of draft capital, knowing that they're not going to win anytime soon. I was for those trades to the New York Jets because they traded them away for what I believe to be a solid package in return for both those guys. But they sold the little team. They have no identity. I mean, last week the Patriots got whatever they wanted on them. Drake May was successful in the air. Henderson was successful on the ground. I mean, the Ravens can too. They're going to replicate just exactly what the Patriots just did. I mean, simple. Ravens are getting this win. We all know how I feel about the Ravens. I'm still not confident in them as a team, but they keep getting these teams that are atrocious and are dead in the water in week 12. Or last week it was week 11 in the Browns. They're going to win these games. They're going to win this game. Let's keep it simple. Ravens are going to win and move to 6-5. Let's keep it going. The 2-8 Browns traveling to take on the 2-8 Raiders, first game of the 3 o'clock slate. Welp. Yeah, Shedeur. Is it perfect timing? Is it perfect timing for Shedeur and the Browns? Maybe so. Because I'm taking the Browns to win this game. I'm taking Shedeur and the Browns to win this game. One of my upsets of week 12, it's happening. And I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. Sanders is making his first career start. And it's like a tank bowl. This game is the tank bowl. I mean, we have 2-8 versus 2-8. They're fighting for draft capital at this point. And I expected both these teams at this point to be fighting for draft capital way back in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It's a tank bowl. Both these teams are going to be theoretically trying to lose. No, not even theoretically. They will be trying to lose. And I say this is the second tank bowl because the first one was Miami and the Commanders last week. Nobody wanted to win that football game. It was evident. Nobody wanted to win that game. Nobody wants to win this game. Here's why the Browns are going to win this game. It's not going to be from my boy Shadur, in my opinion. It's going to be that defense. Browns' run game is still very, very good. Raiders' O-line is absolutely trash. Trash. They're averaging 3.6 yards per carry behind that O-line. That is dead last in the NFL. Dead last. Genty's getting mauled back there. Poor kid. I mean, I knew that was coming too. I faded him in every league for that reason. Poor kid's getting mauled back there. So when you put a very strong Browns running defense against a weak Raiders offensive front and who can't run the ball, literally cannot run the ball, comparative to any other team in the NFL, they have 3.6 yards per carry, dead last in the NFL. The Browns are going to win this football game. And it's going to be on the back of their defense. I mean, this game might get Geno Smith benched or fired. Or if he could be traded, traded. He can't. Deadline's passed. But this might be the Geno firing game. I mean, he's going to have to throw the ball 45 times. Brock Bowers might see 20 targets. He's going to have to throw the ball 45 times, guys. And Miles Sanders will be getting home. They're not going to be able to run the ball at all. The Browns defense here reminds me, or it doesn't remind me, it just resembles what I think New England's defense is going to be able to do against Cincinnati. You have a very strong rushing defense against a horrific rushing offense. What does that mean? The quarterback is going to have to throw the ball more than you want them to. Push the ball downfield, maybe make some throws you doesn't want to make, turnover city, turn the ball over, you lose the game. Patriots defense this week, love them. Seahawks defense this week, love them. Browns defense this week, love them. Those are my three defenses for the week I'm very high on. Very, very high on. I mean, let's stick here with Geno. Geno has 13 interceptions this year. Guys, he's played 10 games. He has 13 interceptions in 10 games. It gets better. He is a 32.6 QBR. That is 31st in the NFL. It can't get much worse for Geno Smith until you got Myles Garrett running at you. That's my take. First big upset of the week here for me. Give me the Browns. Defense in a prime spot to light that Raiders offensive front up. Give me Shadur. Give me the Browns. Give me Myles Garrett to get home. We move forward. The 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to take on the 3-7 Cardinals. The poor Cardinals, man. Just the poor Arizona Cardinals. Injury prone. Who's their quarterback going to be of the future? Can't pull together wins in close games. Can't ever close the door. It's rough. It's rough over there for the Cardinals. And for the Jaguars on the flip side, isn't it time now for the Jags to suck after a huge win? It's what it's been like all season long. Big win for the Jags. Oh my gosh. Maybe this could be a season or a time where they kind of solidify themselves in that AFC playoff picture, continue to make a push now at the AFC South. Maybe so. It hasn't been that way for the Jags all season. So I'm asking you, isn't this the time now for the Jags to, quote, suck? To me, no. No. I like them here in this spot. Cardinals have given up 44 and 41 in their past two games back-to-back, and I think the Jags kind of stick it to them here, honestly. If Strange is back from IR, he's expected to be. We'll see if he is, the tight end for Jacksonville. If he's back, he could definitely be impactful here. Kittle last week against the Cardinals had his best week of the season. It could be a big impact. Brian Thomas Jr. also probably going to be back here. That's big. ETN and Tootin were both limited in practice on Wednesday. So, Jaguars offense is very dinged up. Running backs, tight ends, wide receivers, they're dinged up. I get it. But I still think they control this game pretty solidly from start to finish, even with their inconsistencies, even with, oh my gosh, they won huge last week, it's time for them to choke. With all that being considered and said, I still think the Jags control this game relatively from start to finish. Jags have given up the least total rushing yards in the NFL and DeMarcado is out this week. What does that mean? Yet again, we see a team that's going to have to throw the ball 50 times. What did Jacoby Brissett do last week? Broke the NFL single game record for most completions in a game. He had 47 completions, not pass attempts, completions. He's going to have to do that and more this week if the Cardinals have any chance to win, because the Jaguars' rushing defense, in according to total yards, gives up the least, and then there's now no DeMarcado. This could be ugly. The Jags are in a great spot here. They very much should control this game, and they're going to make the Cardinals one-dimensional. And when the Cardinals are one-dimensional, especially without Marvin Harrison Jr., he's out in this game. Without DeMarcado, it's over. It's wraps. Cardinals are sadly dead. Jaguars get the win here. Let's move forward. Big game here in the 3 o'clock window. The 8-2 Eagles traveling to take on the 4-5-1 Dallas Cowboys. Eagles are -3.5. Eagles have won 4 out of their last 5 against Dallas in the regular season. Cowboys defensive additions in Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson have been successful. It's only been one game. Let me replace Ben with proven. They so far have proved to be successful against the Raiders. We all know this is a different beast. Different beast of a team, different beast of a game coming up here for the Dallas Cowboys. But take what what you've seen and what you've been given. Key additions so far. With a game like this, it feels like one where you can throw all the numbers and stats and the notes and whatever you have out the window, because it can go in any direction. It's an in-division game. It's a huge rivalry game. It's in Dallas. It's got that 3 o'clock sun coming right at your eyes through the windows that gets complained about every time Dallas has a 3 o'clock game. Throw everything out the window when you're looking at this game. All the stats. But let's look at a few player performances in this historical rivalry. Hurts and Barkley don't have crazy numbers against Dallas. You would maybe think they do, and here and there they do. Overall, they've been solid. Nothing crazy whatsoever. And I would have thought Barkley would be feasting on this Dallas team year in and year out with Philly. Hasn't really been the case. He's had good games, do not get me wrong. He has not been dominant to what at least I maybe assumed he has been in the previous games against Dallas. Hurts has been good, not great. He's been fine. But Dak has been very, very solid against the Eagles, especially in his recent starts. I think people here may be leaning towards the under. You have a very strong Eagles defense with a great secondary. Been playing well this year. New additions to that Dallas defense, right? You saw it last week. The defense played really well. Held Genty to 7 rushing yards, whatever it was. I think the 47.5 is the over-under. I think a lot of people are on the under and are on the Eagles. Flip it for me. Flip the script. Give me Dallas in a big upset here at home in a shootout to shock the NFC. Dak plays well against the Eagles. I like them at home here. I just like the upset. Throw everything you have out the window. The stats, the numbers. It's an NFC East rivalry game, and if Dallas even wants to compete in the NFC, it's obviously a must-win for them. Everybody's going to be on the Eagles in this game. In my eyes, at least, they will be. I think a lot of people are going to like the under in this game. I think it's a freaking Dallas shootout. And I'm taking Dallas to get the big upset in their own building. We'll see how this ages. We will see. And I think it's going to age well. We'll see. Last game of the 3 o'clock window here. We have the 3-7 Falcons traveling to take on the 2-8 Saints. My first note for this game is, okay. Penix out for a long time, sadly. Speedy recovery to Michael Penix. Partially torn ACL. Is going to have to get surgery. He's going to be out around 9 months. This is not the first, not the second time Michael Penix has had leg, knee issues. I believe specifically ACL issues. Had some in college. Hoping everything's good with him. Speedy recovery. I mean, the Falcons hope he's the franchise guy. Hopefully he gets better soon. Hopefully the surgery goes well for him. That being said, this is a fire Raheem Morris game. I didn't say that with a period at the end. I said it with a question mark. This is a fire Raheem Morris game? I'm asking you, yes or no? Because I'm taking the Saints here at home to get the win. Falcons are giving up 28 points per game over their 5-game losing streak. They've lost 5 straight. Talk about a team that really lost their identity. They didn't fully have one. They sort of had one with, running Bijan Robinson and with their new draft pieces they brought in and, A.J. Terrell leading that secondary. You had guys you could look at and say, this is their core. Where did the core go? Bijan last week was very solid. They still lost. The weeks prior to that was not a factor at all. Kirk Cousins comes in for Penix. It's just a circus in Atlanta. And the ringleader is Raheem Morris. And I think he could definitely be fired after this week. Maybe so. Maybe. And they might wait till the end of the season. He's got to go. He's got to go. It's either him or Zach Robinson or both. One of them, both of them. Something's got to change. Either now or at the end of the season. Because, they're dead in the water now at this point. Especially without Penix. Giving up 28 points per game defensively over their 5-game losing streak. Secondary's been getting cooked. Tyler Shuck here is in a very good spot to perform well in his own building. I like Olave. I like Shuck. We're just going to take the Saints. The Saints are going to go marching into their own building and get the win at home. Keep that L streak going for Atlanta. Raheem Morris could definitely be fired here very, very soon. Saints are going to get the win. We now roll in to Sunday Night Football. The 6-4 Buccaneers traveling to take on the 8-2 Rams. Great game here. Huge game here. Bucky/Godwin might be back here. We've been talking about them for several weeks now, potentially returning. They might be back in this spot. Man, they need them back badly. You've been able to tell that Baker throughout the season has been doing it all by himself, theoretically, but especially without Bucky and especially without Godwin, which has now been several weeks, he looks a little tired. He needs some damn help. There's no Evans, there's no Godwin, there's no Bucky. He needs somebody to throw the ball to outside of Tez Johnson and Cade Otton. He needs more weapons. He needs his weapons. He needs his guys to get back. Let's talk about the Rams. Rams are so balanced in all aspects, and you can't run against them. You cannot run against the Rams. So, Baker has to do it like he's been doing all year long, and that is put the team on his back. Put the team on his back. Rams are giving up 16 points per game at home this year. That is just unbelievable. Bucs defense has given up 55 points in the past 2 games combined. Very much a tale, 2 different tales here. 2 different tales of the tape. Rams have been scorching hot, red hot. Bucs have been just stirring, hoping for a return from their key players. Backs against the wall here, it feels like, for Tampa Bay. But here's the thing. I think Baker can do it. Back where he got his revival in LA, I'm going to take Baker, and I'm going to take the Bucs to pull off the upset. I believe they're 7-point dogs at the moment, and I'm not super confident in this pick. I'll just warn you, just throwing that out there. I'm taking the Bucs, though. I'm taking the Buccaneers to go into LA and get the win. Back where Baker revived his career with Sean McVay. I'm picking it because, it is backs against the wall for the Bucs. If the Panthers pull off a win on Monday Night Football and the Bucs lose, they are more than trouble. More than trouble. On not only losing the division, but missing the playoffs altogether, because that's the only way they're going to be able to get in, most likely, at this rate, is by winning the NFC South. They have to win. It's not a must-win, but it's kind of a must-win for the Bucs. And I like Baker here to just go ballistic. do whatever he can, trucking guys over, getting the extra yards, scrapping for every single inch. I think Baker will do that this game, and I think he's going to lead the Bucs to a win. Am I confident in it? No. The Rams are the better team in every aspect. But if Bucky can play, or Godwin can just play, even in a limited capacity, and help Baker out a little bit, I think Baker's going to do it. Give me the Bucs to get the win and move to 7-5. Or 7-4, excuse me. Man. We'll see if that one pays off. So, my 4 big upsets so far before Monday Night Football: Texans, Cowboys, Browns, Bucs. Those are my 4. We'll see. We will see. And we now move into Monday Night Football. We have the 6-5 Panthers traveling to take on the 7-4 49ers. 49ers since week 3 have gone. Listen to this. Listen to this. Since week 3, the 49ers have gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. They have alternated every single game since week 3. We are in week 12. And they've gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Panthers fans, what does that mean? It could be time for a W. Panthers fans, that's what that means. No. Not here on this show. Not here on the Swank Tank for week 12 at least. I think the Panthers take the L. I'm just going to flat out say it. I think the Panthers take the L. Bryce Young, a little dinged up with an ankle injury, traveling across the country for a primetime Monday Night Football game in San Fran. That's a hard environment to play in. And frankly, I don't think the Panthers are fully ready for that. I'll just be honest with you. I just don't. And 49ers are fully healthy now. You got Kittle, you got Pearsall, you got McCaffrey doing his thing, you got Purdy who's back, you got Juwan Jennings in there. Their offense is fully healthy. Defensively, they're not. Obviously, Warner, Bosa, out for a season. It's rough over there. But offensively, they are finally healthy. And they have an above-average run defense, which is big against the Panthers. Because what do the Panthers want to do? Yeah, I get it. Bryce Young had a career day last week. I get that. What do the Panthers want to do? What is their bread and butter? Running the football with Rico Dowdle. When they can't do that, they struggle. I understand last week, Swank last week against the Falcons. I get it. I hear you. You're not wrong. But overall, the Falcons want to run the ball, and when they can't, they typically struggle this year. 49ers defense is above average. Just something to note there. Just something to note. Panthers have given up 718 yards, by the way, to tight ends this year. I believe George Kittle over there on the other side of the football is a tight end, and he's a pretty damn good football player. It's a good spot for Kittle. It's a great spot for the Niners to just feel comfortable and feel calm at home for hopefully the first time in several weeks with injuries. And is Purdy playing? Is it Mac Jones? Just settling in a little bit. That's what this is going to be for the Niners. It's a perfect spot for that in my eyes. Monday Night Football in their own building. I'm comfortable taking the 49ers here at home 100%. Give me them to win. Give me them to move to 8-4. And that is our full Week 12 NFL preview, picks, and predictions. Let me know what you think. I gave you my upsets. We went in depth on every single game, my opinions, my outcomes, why I'm picking which team, some gut calls, some big time upsets. Let me know what you think of those. And let me know what you think of these picks. Let's roll over now into my DFS locks. If you don't know, I'm big into DFS. And not a lot of people talk about DFS. A lot of people talk about fantasy and that kind of subject and who to start, who to add, who to bench, all that good stuff. That's great. All good content. Not a lot of people talk about FanDuel DFS. If you don't know what FanDuel DFS is, and no, I'm not their sponsor, you may be thinking, wow, this show's huge. And you're not wrong. If you're not watching, I'm staring at the camera in a funny way. We are not huge. Not yet. But I'm obviously no FanDuel sponsor or nothing, but I love to play FanDuel DFS. And DFS stands for Daily Fantasy Sports. You enter big contests for, it can be $1 entry, it could be $1,000 entry, whatever you want, going up against other people. picking essentially fantasy lineups with a budget. Super fun. I love doing it. Been having a really strong year. And so I'm going to be pushing out a little bit more content and just giving you some locks. If you're going to start playing some DFS, might as well, join in. If you are, let me know. Maybe let's do a head-to-head. If you play FanDuel DFS, I'd love to play in a head-to-head. DM me, hit me up, we'll play. 3 DFS locks for the noon slate. So for just the noon games on Sunday, here are a few locks for you. Drake May. I will have Drake May in my noon slate lineup. The matchup is way too juicy. People may be in on the Henderson move more so. I'm just in on Patriots altogether in this game. Henderson could shine, but knock, knock, knock. Who's right behind him? Stevenson's back, people. He's at the door knocking, ready to take away some carries and some volume and some touches from Travion Henderson here in Week 12. Just that Bengals secondary is atrocious. That run defense is too, but the Bengals secondary is atrocious. I love New England here in this spot. Drake May, DFS lock for the noon slate. After that, Jahmyr Gibbs. Absolutely love the Lions in this spot. Giants rushing defense is bottom 3 in the NFL. When the Lions win, Gibbs succeeds. In the Lions losses, they have 4 of them. Gibbs has 0 touchdowns. In the Lions wins, Gibbs has 10 touchdowns. When the Lions succeed, it's due to Gibbs. Don't flip that. People have argued with me that it's flipped. No. Jahmyr Gibbs leads the Lions to success, not the other way around. Not the Lions lead Jahmyr Gibbs to success. Jahmyr makes the Lions offense run. And this is a spot where that offense will be literally running. Gibbs, DFS lock for the noon slate. After that, it's like a half lock here. Seattle and New England defenses, locks. Seattle against Tennessee, enough said. New England against the Bengals with no Jamar Chase, with maybe Joe Burrow, with maybe Flacco, doesn't matter. Team's dead in the water. Pats defense, Seattle defense. Noon slate locks. For the 3 p.m. slate, Browns defense, lock. I'm locking that one in for my 3 o'clock slate lineup. Browns defense will get home to that, Raiders offensive line that's been terrible. They're going to get home to Geno Smith. They're going to get home to Ashton Genty. It's going to be ugly again, in my eyes, for the Raiders. Browns defense, lock. Dak Prescott is my 3 o'clock slate lock. Has had success against the Eagles before, especially recently. And I'm feeling Dallas this week. It's more of a gut feel. I talked about this game, obviously, 15, 20 minutes ago. Take that game and throw the numbers out the window. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a shootout on both sides of the football. And I think Dak really plays well. At home, I'm just feeling it from Dak. He's a lock this week. After that, Olave. You saw the secondary for Atlanta get torn to shreds last week against Bryce Young. I think Tyler Shuck in his own building is going to really succeed this week, but I have Dak in that lock spot, so I'm going to take Olave to perform well. At home, I really like the matchup he's got. He should get a lot of high volume. Kamara has been really falling off a cliff in terms of production. No Shaheed. Should be a ton of volume for Olave. And those are my 6, really 7 DFS locks for the week. Wrapping up the episode, we're moving in to our Swanks Banks. You know it. You love it. We are at the Swanks Banks part of the episode to wrap it up. Season record has moved to 35-31. We went 3-3 in week 11. We theoretically, guys, went 3-2-1. And, of course, it was Green Bay that led me to push. I had Green Bay -7. They won by exactly 7. I counted that as a loss. I am not putting a push in my betting record. If it's a push, it's a loss in my eyes, and especially for this show. So I marked it as so. We're 35-31 on the year. We went 3-3 in week 11, but our Swank tank did hit. It was Texans money line that did hit. Swank's tank, my favorite bet of the 6, moves to 6-5. There we go, above 500 there. Still 4 games, 4 picks above 500 on the season. Let's keep the good vibes, the good times rolling. my Swank tank for Week 12. You ready for it? Patriots -8. I've been talking about New England all episode long. Patriots -8 is my favorite bet of the entire weekend. I think they kill Cincinnati. At least a 14-point win in my eyes. Pats -8, lock it in. Number 2, Lions -10 is the big number. They're in their own building. They put up a ton of points off losses after this season. Off the loss, scoring a lot. Giants defense has been atrocious. Jameis Winston can turn the ball over a lot in certain spots in games. Lions here big, no questions asked. Taking the points -10. Number 3, Vikings +6 has made it. For the third straight week, theoretically, I'm betting on J.J. McCarthy. Mr. 9 better come through. Or else they might just be on my no-bet list for the rest of the season. They probably will. If they don't come through here, I like this game to be close. And I like J.J. out of nowhere to just play well. Because that's seemingly what he does in the old 2025. Give me the Vikings to kind of establish a run game, even though they do not run the ball whatsoever. Vikings +6, I'm taking it. Number 4, Cowboys money line. We've touched a lot on Cowboys on this episode. I'm taking the boys to get it done. Big upset for the week. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Number 5, Saints money line. Feel very comfortable and confident in this pick in their own building. Raheem Morris, to me, could be fired soon. This could be a spot for that. Taking the Saints. 6, last bet of Swank's Banks. 49ers money line. Super comfortable with this one. Not going to bat an eye. Not worried about the Panthers going in there and getting the win, getting an upset. I'm just ready for the 49ers to look comfortable. And it's a perfect spot for them to do so. I'm taking them money line. And that is your Week 12 Swanks Banks. And that is going to wrap up our Week 12 episode number 23. If you've made it all the way to the end of the episode, I appreciate you so much. Please make sure to go and follow on all the socials at the Swank Tank. Hit the subscribe. Hit the follow if you're not already. We're close to 500 on Instagram. We're getting there, people. We're getting there. If you're listening on Thursday, again, this is recorded Thursday morning, November 20th. Have a great start to your Thursday. If you're listening Thursday night, Friday, whenever it is, I just really thank you and appreciate you for listening and or watching. So thank you so much. Have a great start nearly to your weekend. Win your fantasy matchups. Win your DFS matchups. If you play DFS, hit me up. Hit me with a DM. We'll get a head-to-head going. Good luck to all your fantasy boys. Good luck to your true teams this weekend. Let's have a week, people. I'm feeling it this week. Let's do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you Monday night. Have a good one.